Yeah, we're finna get her off the trailer and get her in the shop. And I'm noticing she's got bias plies on her. Let's see what this is. It's a good year. It's sitting on the G70 part. I think it's all crinkled up. Four ply rating. That's an old bias ply though. Oh, and it looked like she's been spun a few times, probably back in the 60s. I wonder if that's a MOPAR wheel. That's old. He got the, I think he said the drum was locked up when he got it years ago. And the drum's in the back. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see if that's the wide one. We're gonna put some rollers on it. Now, we've got a set of turbines here. I'll make sure it looks like with turbines on it. Let me jack it up some more. That's it. I think so. Look at there. Ooh, they don't look bad with turbines. Well, our turbines didn't fit their GM, so we had to put some MOPARs on it to get it into the shop. We're looking good. That's a shame. I want to see those turbines on it. The door's a bit stuck, so we're going, Taylor is, Dukes of Hazzard style. Look at him, Bo Duke. Watch that lock. It'll rip your vertebrae out. I bet Bo and them had that lock out. No, ain't no brakes. Hold on, my foot's scotching it. All right, after much moving, we got her sitting next to a frame-off 53 build that's going. So she's in the body shop. Now we just got a 55 Bel Air we got to get out of the way, and an 85 K5 Blazer. And hopefully we're starting on this car by winter, and we're gonna do the body work here in the body shop. We'll get it spun over, get it on rotisserie, and get this thing stripped down to nothing, and make a brand new 69 Super B. It'll be numbers matching, rotisserie. We'll go back stock color, that Charger red, black bucket seat auto column. Or what if we went a bit crazy and we know where a Hemi block is we could build? What if we put a 426 in it and made it like it came as a 426 car? But I really hate to get rid of the numbers matching part of it. So, I don't know. Give us some ideas. She's gonna sit here for a little bit, and we're gonna pull this K-member out, disassemble everything, get the dash out of it. Anything needs fixing, we'll fix it. We're gonna paint the bottom side of the car. We'll paint the wheel wells. We'll try to do it back the way Dodge had it in '69. And so far, that's the idea. That's the plan. Keep it numbers matching 383 torque flight, because we found the VN on the motor. We found the VN on the transmission. Matches the VN for the dash, which also matches the VN for the core support. We've got the original owner from 1969. We've got the paperwork where he bought it, and we've got a second owner that bought it in 1971. So we've got a lot of documentation with it too. It's a tick-tock-tack car. It's a power steering car. We haven't checked the ratio in the back, but it is an 8 3/4, so I'm thinking it's probably a 391. and it's a factory radio car. And the tick-tock tack thing's pretty impressive because I've seen Super Birds that didn't even come with that. It's a neat option car. I like the power bulge hood. Maybe my favorite hood of all of them. You can see it out of the windshield. Looks good. And we gotta, and if we do keep it stock, then how far do you go? Like if that's an original glass, do we save it or do we put a new one? I don't know. We can date code a bunch of parts on it. If that's original master cylinder, should we keep it and rebuild it? Should we just go full factory resto with it? Find original hose clamps and stuff like that. And either way, she is beautiful. I'm proud to have it. And this is our car. It's not one we're doing for somebody. I can't wait to get started on it. She's about as solid as you'll find. There's a few places need addressing. The trunk pans got a little bit. There's a few spots in the floor pans, but I don't want to patch them. I want to replace that whole section. I want it so it's perfect from top, perfect from bottom. We're gonna do it the best we can. And y'all seen our channel, we go pretty extensive with them. I want to take this one all the way. It's 150 degrees in here. Thank y'all for watching. Hello, peoples of the internet. We are, this Super Bee we picked up, y'all watched. Turns out is numbers matching. It's in the body shop, so it's in line with the 53 frame off and a K5 blazers being done now. It's gonna get started in body work pretty soon, so we just got to knock a few of them out before we can get on it, because this is our car. And it is numbers matching motor, numbers matching trans, numbers matching core support. But she's been sitting for a long time. The motor, we believe, has been rebuilt, but from all indications, it was probably done in the late 80s, early 90s. It's just been sitting in a storage shed ever since. And we're going to pull this car apart. We're going to put on a rotisserie and flip it upside down. But we'll end up going in this motor too. But there's a few things we want to do before we tear it down. And one of them, we want to fill these cylinders up with some lubrication, because it hasn't been turned over in who knows when. We're going to fill these cylinders up, and we're going to let this thing set before we even try to turn it. God forbid it's got a rust ring in there. We don't want to do any damage. So Taylor and Gavin are going to pull the plugs, and we've got a special concoction that we make with diesel fuel and ATF and acetone that has always worked miracles for us. So even though it's probably ready to turn over, we're going to take a safety precaution. We're going to lube this upper end up, and we'll let it set. And right before we start doing the disassembly, we're going to just shoot for cranking it up and listen to it run before we tear the body down. All right, well, y'all get on that, and I'm going to get on this blazer.
Alright, cylinders are full. We put the plugs back in, and we went ahead and poured some down the intake and in this valve cover.
Alright, we're not going to start it today. We just wanted to get everything lubed up and let everything be sitting in lubrication before we did. So we have oiled every piston, And we shot some down the intake, and we're gonna let it sit until we get ready to crank it. Maybe a little bit, and we'll probably end up draining this out pretty soon and doing an oil change on it anyways, but it's a good idea to have this thing lubricated before you turn it over. One, it's been sitting as long as this one's been sitting. Just cheap insurance, but keep that in mind. You don't want to sit in a long time. You don't want to start it dry because it's been sitting for, 15 years, 20 years? And who knows when the engine was built? Every bit of oil that's in it is in the pan, so your mains and your rods have nothing on them. You don't want to start it and eat a bearing that's dry out of a fresh motor. So we're going to let her soak. We're going to get her primed up, and then we'll try to throw a carb on top. And I'm pretty sure this came with, a Carter AFB, whatever they call it, like the old school Edelbrocks. Some came Holly, some came Carters. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Holly big blocks came turquoise, and it may be a year thing. I know some 68s were turquoise, and a lot of times it had the Carter. It was an orange block. But again, this one is numbers. So somewhere we've got film of it, but the block, core support, the transmission all match the VIN. It's a special car. I'm really looking forward to getting on it. We just got to get some of these others out of the way before we can jump on this one. You got to eat your vegetables before you get dessert.